baby Jade, and I will zoom in a little closer to her and then back out. So today I just wanted to chat with you guys about just some of the things, just kind of like summarizing from when I started collecting to where I'm at now, and how things have changed with me, as in my perspective of the art, my perspective of the community, and my perspective of how I feel about being a YouTuber. As you guys already seen, I have started a film or recording where I'm doing these installments where I'm just kind of talking about my experience as a YouTuber and as a doll collector. And as I said many times before, when I came into the reborn and silicone baby world of YouTube and Facebook and social media, I had previously always had a love and a passion for dolls. But then I found these very realistic looking dolls, and it really blew my mind that they were so realistic. I couldn't believe that they were as realistic as they are. I'd always wanted to have a very realistic doll like these, and just bear with me one moment as I will begin to lift you guys a little bit. Yeah, I always wanted to collect lifelike dolls. At one point I just couldn't afford them, and at another point I just didn't know where to find them. So when I started looking, I was so anxious to get my first one, and so I kind of pretty much just settled on the first one that I could afford. And I don't regret that purchase. However, it was very short-lived when I realized that what I had wasn't all that compared to what was out there. And me, like I said, I like to collect for, you know, the most realistic looking dolls I can find. It's not about having the best thing, the next best thing, but I just like to have something that looks like really real. And so I just kept looking, and then of course I was buying, you know, 2, 3, 4 babies at a time. I remember one time I had a box opening for a week straight. Like, I had one every day at one point. I really it was like I would get a baby and it was like, oh, I love the hands on this, but I don't like this. Or, oh, I love this on the baby, but I don't like this. Or, I love the way this baby was painted, but I don't like this. So it was always like I was always missing something, and I really wasn't sure what I was really looking for until after I probably had collected about 20 something dolls. And can you imagine the money that I had spent? Now granted, back then the dolls wasn't as expensive. To get a top of the line reborn back then, you could get one for like $600, and that was like the elite of the crew. You know, nowadays, of course, when you going into the elite, you going into the thousands with the reborns. Back when I first started, silicone babies was in the thousands, like the low thousands, like 2,000, 3,000. And I mean, like a Claire Taylor doll was probably like $3,000, and I was thinking like, oh, no way. You know, my cap back then was like $1,500. So you know, a lot has changed. You know, like I said, I was one of those ones that said I wouldn't dare spend this for a doll. I was like, at the end of the day, it's still a doll. And I thought that, you know, it didn't get any better. It wasn't no different, blah, 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 blah. And then I learned differently. I thought this community was wonderful. I thought everybody in it was honest and loving and kind and just here to, you know, share the hobby, and, you know, everything was just full of bliss. Yeah, that would be a no. You know, I later found out that, you know, some people I found that I just don't believe that even collect for the dolls. I think they collect for like a sport, like, you know, to say that they can and show off what they have, or, you know, try to get the most expensive baby, and, you know, to prove whatever point. To each his own. But I learned that everybody wasn't in it for the same reasons that I was in it. And so my perspective have changed. But what hasn't changed with me is my love and my passion for the hobby. I love the dolls. I love the role play videos. I love the changing videos, the bathing videos. I love seeing different forms of art, as I always have. I like a wide range of babies in my collection. It's just, you know, I've became a little bit more cautious of the people, but I really, really still truly enjoy my hobby. And the one thing that I always thought that, like I say, I never thought I would own a, you know, a silicone baby, and I really didn't think that I would ever own a Clairtella baby. But at the time, I had people, you know, that encouraged me, and I will still give them, always be grateful for them encouraging me to keep searching and telling me that I will be able to afford one day, and just be patient. You know, the right deal will come up for me and stuff like that. And you know, I always be grateful to that person for doing that for me. But I just never thought it was going to be possible. Just like I never thought that I'd buy directly from Claire. You know, once I achieve one goal, you know, your goals and your dreams just get bigger and bigger. But I guess, you know, that's normal. Who wants to be stagnant in life and just, you know, settle? So, yeah. Now, although I still may not be, you know, like some collectors that can afford to buy multiple babies without selling babies, I still have been able to, I'm so grateful that I've been able to, you know, get some of my dream babies and stuff like that. So don't ever think it's not possible for you to get there, because I was definitely one that thought it was impossible. I'm still learning and growing every day. I used to share everything on YouTube. Now I kind of curve what I share and how I share it. I used to you know, be a little bit more free with my words, but I've learned to kind of curve it a little bit over time. And I can tell you that painting my own babies have also given me a new perspective on things. And I feel that I've always respected artists because I've always collected for the art and the dolls. So I've always had a level of respect for them and what they do, but I feel like I just have a little bit more now. Because I know it takes a long time and a lot of work, and it's so easy to make a mistake on, you know, in the reborning process. I can't even imagine the silicone part. And that is one of the main things that I've learned in when I'm collecting, is how things, you know, how you have a vision for a baby, and you know how you handle the disappointment. And it can be heartbreaking when you spend, you know, thousands of dollars for a baby and get it and it's not what you expected it to be. Rather, it was, you saw it and you thought that it looked, you know, wonderful on camera, and then you got it and you didn't like it. Or rather, it was a custom and you had envisioned this look, and your vision and the artist's vision just did not meet together and didn't work out. Either way, it still can be so heartbreaking and disappointing. But I think that a lot of people just tend to handle a lot of situations out of raw emotions. And I think sometimes we just need to just take a break and breathe. Just take a break and just breathe. You know what I mean? Sometimes when we take a break and breathe, we'll realize that it's not as bad as we thought. It's just not as bad as we thought. I've had where when I have a bad experience with an artist and it's in the middle of a purchase of a baby, I just do not do not bond with the baby. It just totally ruins my experience. And well, let me backtrack. It used to.